Did you know that the most lucrative real estate deals are hidden in plain sight? They're just waiting to be discovered? Well, that's what I can help you do. So, I'm Kathy Burns, and I am an experienced real estate agent in the Lake Norman area of North Carolina. Been selling waterfront for a long, long time. I do off-water as well. And I've learned a lot of little tricks so that in a market like this, I can help you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a couple of things. One is how to find those jewels, where they're at, how to get the phone numbers, how to call them, and that's what we're going to discover right now. So, if you're interested, subscribe below because I got lots of good tips for you. So hang here with me, buddy. All right. The first thing I'm going to talk to you about is Remind. So what's Remind, you say? Well, I think I've seen that in my MLS. Yes, you have. It's in your MLS, and it's marvelous. Years ago when it first came out, and I first learned about it probably 7 or so years ago, you had to pay for it. And I gladly paid for it because it would tell me so much about what people had in their, you could see mortgages, you could see if they were likely to sell or not, because that's a filter, one of my favorite filters. So Remind is in your MLS, most likely free. And you just go in there to resources and you go down, you look it up, and you start searching, you create filters. You figure out where's the territory that you want to filter, what's your plan of who you want to approach. I'm going to tell you one that I'm doing right now that's very beneficial and I think a really good idea right now. Because a lot of people are scared to sell because they don't know where they're going to move. But there's a certain niche, a certain gem who just might need to sell, and that's who you want. So you go into Remind and you pick your territory and you say, I'm looking for the most likely to sell, or the highest likely, or the medium likely. That's how you look in there. Now that's one tool, and you'll see a lot of good things in there. And there's another one called PropStream. I'm going to have the links below so you'll be able to check them out on that one, because that is a paid for one. First 7 days are free if you follow my link. So now that you can go across the United States, whereas Remind is only in your current MLS. So I'm a big fan of PropStream because I can go across the United States. And I got other plans, and I'll tell you how I'll do that in other videos. So make sure you follow me. So anyway, so now I'm in PropStream, and I start looking it up, and what my goal, my niche that I'm looking at right now is older ownership lengths of time. For example, I want somebody that's had that property 30 plus years, which I can search by. I want somebody that's got 50 plus equity in it, so they got lots of money in there to play with. So, what you thinking, Kathy? My thinking is, if you've had it a long time and you got a lot of money in there and the market's tight, you might be older, like me. And maybe you say, maybe we want to downsize. Maybe we want to go to a condo. Maybe we want to move to Florida. Maybe we want to move to Arizona. I don't know. You want to move somewhere, and now you got some money. Maybe you want to do that. So my agenda is I'm going to call you. How am I going to get your number? That's number 3. That is Forewarn, FOREWARN.com. Now, in many MLSs, that is also free. It's not in mine, darn it. I'm working toward that. I pay $20 a month to have it. What it is, it's a background checker. So you can go in there, and now you've got the person's name that owns the property that's 30 plus years old, and now you put that into Forewarn, you put the person's name in, you know the city and town that they live in, boom, up pops the screen that's their background check. So it can also tell you if they're a crazy person as well, so you may not want to call them. But what I'm looking for is their cell number, because nobody has a landline, or if they do, I'll take that too. So you start gathering the phone numbers. So now you've got a spreadsheet that you've created, and I've got a sample here, you'll see it in a picture flash, of what those headings are. It's basically the person's name, the address, the city, the town, the zip code, a spot for the phone number, how long they've owned it, and approximately how much equity they've got in it. And I think PropStream even has a place in there that tells you its current value. Yeah, it does. It has its projected value. It's not always right, but it gives you a projected value. That's great information, right? So now, either you or you hire a VA to make these calls, and you basically are calling up one by one, and you're saying, hey, Betty. I like to go with the first name. Is this Betty? Whatever, how you ever want to approach it. And say, my name is Kathy Burns. I'm with eXp Realty, and I have buyers along with lots of other agents that are looking to buy in this area. Are you interested in selling? And if you're not, would you be interested in having a current market value on your home? Either way works for me. And they'll tell you whatever. Now you can change it up to your verbiage or whatever. You get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So now they say, nah, I'm not interested in selling. Want that market value though? Oh, I wouldn't mind having that. Great. Can I get your email? Sure. They give me their email. Boom. Where do they go? Right in my CRM, because now I got everything that I need to stay in touch. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to nurture them, because sooner or later, the likelihood is that they're going to sell. 30 plus years is a long time to be living in a house. And people don't stay that long. Now there's a generation that does. The baby boomers are often living in a house, but sooner or later they're going to want to move near grandkids, or they're going to want to go where warm weather is. It's going to happen. Or they're going to have to go into assisted living. Anyway, those three things, Remind, ProStream, and Forewarn, can help build a database that can truly be gems in this market, where you can actually find the listings that you're looking for. Do you want listings? Darn right you do. Do you want buyers? That's nice. Let somebody else have the buyers. You get the listings. You get to spend the weekends with your family. You can have time to yourself, because the buyers are looking for listings that are barely there. Now you've got them, and you can bring them to market when they weren't at the market before. And the higher price point, which is what I go for, I have a very specific price point that I'm looking for. Not looking for 100, 2, 3, 4. I want 500 and above. Why? Because a lot of the 500 above, especially over $1 million, they're not necessarily looking at the interest rate. They are seeing cash opportunities for themselves. They may be selling another house that they've got where they got a lot of cash in it. They're not worried about the interest rate. I currently have a listing right now that's going for just under 2.2 million. The 6 or 7 buyers that have come in so far were all cash buyers. Don't you wish you had a spare $1 or $2 million to just go buy a house like that? I wish I did. Anyway, the point being is, you want to get the most for your bang for your time. So don't be trying to chase down every little house. Be specific. And don't be chasing them all over the country too, or all over your town. Pick a territory. There are plenty of homes like this. If you have to inch it out, do. But don't go all over. Like, I live in the Lake Norman area. Charlotte is huge. I see agents going from way north, an hour and a half north, to an hour and a half south and east and west. What? That takes beat up on your car. You don't need to do that. So, what are you going to do? You're going to look for 500 plus price point. You're going to look for they've owned it at least 30 years. They've got at least 50% equity. You're going to go to Remind, and maybe you swap back and forth between PropStream and Remind, because each one has different information. PropStream has the most, but I believe it's only Remind that tells me who's the most likely to sell and medium likely. That's a nice piece. So, and that one's free. And then you go to Forewarn, you get their phone number, and don't forget, when you're calling them up, you're going to try and get their email to do a market review for them. You don't have to go out. Be subtle. Don't be pushy. You can do this. And you can start to build an incredible database that you're going to put in your CRM. Can't remember if I told you this already, but I have KV Core. That's the CRM I use. There's AI involved in that to create drips to these people. And you could start this business going right away in a tough economic time when others are really struggling. You don't have to. You can make it happen. So I got more like this, lots more. So be sure and like and follow me and keep checking back, because I got more. Kathy Burns, waterfront specialist in the Lake Norman area. Look forward to helping you.